Welcome back to Master 79. In this lesson we write a full band 9 answer for an ielts writing task 1 question with 2 charts, a bar chart and a line graph. Here is the task. The charts show the number of tourists to Australia from 3 countries in 1995 and 2005 and the types of travel between those 2 years. You must summarize the main features and make comparisons where relevant. You have 20 minutes and you need at least 150 words. This is the bar chart redrawn from the original. In 1995, the United Kingdom sent roughly 710,000 tourists, the United States about 450,000, and Japan around 1.45 million. By 2005, Britain had risen to about 1.47 million, America to about 1.46 million, and Japan had fallen to roughly 955,000. Notice that the ranking completely reverses. Now the line graph showing 2 styles of travel. Backpacking begins at approximately 1.57 million, peaks at about 2.37 million in the year 2000. Then drops sharply to roughly 1.16 million. Staying at resorts does the opposite. It rises steadily from around 300,000 to about 790,000 and then to some 1.15 million. By the end, the 2 lines almost meet. Before you write a single word, read the charts properly. Take both titles and both legends first because 2 charts still make only 1 essay. Check the units. A bar chart with 2 years asks you to compare and to watch for a change in ranking. A line graph asks you to describe a shape, the start, the turning point, and the end. Then find the single biggest story in each chart because those 2 stories become your overview. Two honest warnings about this data. First, every value is read off the graph, so every value must be hedged. Second, the 2 charts count different things. The bar chart covers only 3 source countries, while the line graph covers travel styles for all visitors, so you must never add them together or claim that one explains the other. Also note that the line graph includes the year 2000, which the bar chart does not, and that extra year is where the peak lies. Now brainstorm. On the left, the bar chart. Japan led clearly in 1995. The United Kingdom roughly doubled. The United States rose more than threefold. Japan fell, and it was the only decline. The ranking reversed, and Britain and America finished almost level. On the right, the line graph. Backpacking led throughout, peaked in the year 2000, and then fell sharply. Resort stays rose in every period, steadily rather than suddenly, until the gap closed to almost nothing. The overview is the paragraph that decides your band. Write 2 sentences, 1 for each chart. Use no figures at all, because figures belong in the body. Name the pattern rather than listing the categories. Grew substantially is worth far more than the United Kingdom went up and the United States went up. And make sure you include the reversal and the closing gap because those are the main features the examiner is looking for. Here is the plan. Paragraph 1 paraphrases the task in 2 clauses, 1 per chart. Paragraph 2 is the overview, with both headline trends and 0 figures. Paragraph 3 covers the bar chart in detail, the 1995 ranking, then the reversal. Paragraph 4 covers the line graph, backpacking's rise and fall, the steady climb of resort stays, and the closing gap. 4 paragraphs, around 200 words. Paragraph 1. The introduction. The bar chart compares the number of tourists traveling to Australia from 3 countries in 1995 and 2005, while the line graph shows how many visitors chose 2 different styles of travel between those years. Notice that traveling to replaces to, and styles of travel replaces types of travel. Paraphrase: never copy the prompt. Paragraph 2. The overview. Overall, arrivals from the United Kingdom and the United States grew substantially over the decade, whereas Japanese arrivals declined, so the 2 Western markets had overtaken Japan by the end of the period. Meanwhile, backpacking was the more popular travel style throughout, but its lead was eliminated as resort stays rose steadily. Not one figure, and both charts covered. Paragraph 3. The bar chart in detail. In 1995, Japan was by far the largest source market, sending roughly 1.45 million tourists, around double the British figure of about 710,000, and more than 3 times the American total of approximately 450,000. 10 years later, this ranking had reversed. British and American arrivals had climbed to about 1.47 million and 1.46 million respectively, while Japanese numbers had fallen to roughly 955,000. Paragraph 4. The line graph in detail. Turning to travel styles, backpacking started at approximately 1.57 million in 1995 and peaked at about 2.37 million in the year 2000 before dropping sharply to roughly 1.16 million. Resort stays followed the opposite, steadier path, rising from around 300,000 to about 790,000 and then to some 1.15 million, so the 2 categories finished at virtually identical levels. Here is the complete answer on one slide, 206 words. Pause the video and read it through as a single piece of writing. Notice how every paragraph does one job, and how the figures only appear after the overview has already told the examiner what happened. Take this language with you. For rises, grew substantially, climbed to, rose steadily, a threefold increase. For falls, declined, fell to, dropped sharply. For peaks, peaked at, reached a high of, before dropping back. For comparing, around double, more than 3 times, by far the largest, virtually identical. For a change of rank had overtaken, this ranking had reversed, its lead was eliminated. And for hedging, roughly, about, approximately, some, just under. Why this answers at band 9. Task achievement. Both charts are covered, with a clear figure-free overview and selected, supported key features. Coherence and cohesion, 1 idea per paragraph and logical linking. Lexical resource, precise trend verbs, multiples, and consistent hedging. Grammatical range, past simple and past perfect used purposefully in accurate complex sentences. One honest caveat, band 9 here reflects an internal quality check against the public ielts band descriptors. It is not a score from a certified examiner. Your turn. Write paragraph 4 using whereas instead of the opposite path, and post it in the comments. If this helped, subscribe to Master 79 for more band 9 walkthroughs. See you in the next lesson.